Hello, everyone, and welcome back to The Council. It's your girl, Cosette.
Lexi.
And Rachel.
And I have a really fun line to read I'm really excited for.
We're ready.
This episode is about miles apart, still on fire, keeping long-distance love spicy and solid. But my hook is time zones, spotty Wi-Fi, and long kisses through a screen. Long-distance love is real, and so are the struggles. I feel like we're in like a Fabio love novel right now.
Oh my gosh.
How many of you have been in a long-distance relationship?
Well,
I was going for like a hand raise, but okay.
I mean,
have neither of you been in like an actual long-distance relationship?
in different states in college and
Yeah,
having to road trip
that's
to
a long
them.
distance.
Okay.
well, technically, the
Yes.
one that I am in, we're not long distance anymore,
But
but
you've
we were
had
a couple
long
hours
spurts.
away,
and you've had
like
long
driving-wise.
parts away.
Yeah.
So yes.
I would say that like if you can drive there in under like 2 hours, I think it's more like a medium distance.
Yeah.
And long distance, that's at least how I would define
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
But no, you guys definitely had to deal with those same struggles that long distance had to deal with.
Yeah, definitely. And then there was
I think we all can do a little.
yeah, we all could raise our hand
in
on
a
this.
way.
Yeah.
But it's long distance is so difficult. And actually my sister, not to call her out, but she's going through a long distance relationship right now because
Really?
her boyfriend moved back to Arizona. And so they are constantly taking trips to see each other. But it's difficult to still maintain. I mean, even like my Mr. Tennis is, I would say I wouldn't say it's a medium distance, but I would say it's between a short distance and a medium distance relationship because
Yeah.
we're about like an hour from each other.
Yeah.
And the constant, like, it's so much easier to have a relationship where you see each other very often when you live in the same neighborhood. And
Or
so,
in the same house.
yeah, exactly.
Yes.
That's a very short distance
That's a
relationship.
very short distance.
But you have to
Sometimes
make,
he needs to get out.
yeah, you have to make
Long
even more of a conscious effort to show that person that you care. And they say that in long distance relationships, you really see if it works or not.
As they
because-
say, it either makes the heart grow fonder.
or wander.
Wander.
Lexi
Yeah.
hates that.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was a
Quote.
second part to that. I
Yeah.
always thought distance either makes the heart grow fonder, or that's it.
Or that's it, yeah.
Yeah.
I never knew wander was like the.
You're
Yeah.
like, what?
But I think you have to put in even more effort to show the person that you really want to be with them. And
Absolutely.
on the reverse side, if you don't really want to be with them, it will show that. And you might be easily distracted by people who are more in your vicinity. So yeah, long distance really brings out the worst of people sometimes. And I also think that, I don't know what I also think.
But also, like, you're saying
I
long
forgot.
distance can bring out the worst in people, but it also reflects and shows you how serious they are or they're not. I know, for example, I was dating someone and literally when we were together, it was great. It was fantastic. But the moment we left each other's like side, like I didn't hear from him, text messages like once every 3 days. And it was like, what's up? Whenever we hang out, it's great. But when we're apart, I'm not even in your mind.
Yeah.
Which, ended up
reflecting what was actually happening.
what was going to happen, and it did happen.
Yeah.
We just didn't work out.
I feel like this episode, we're not like, we also want to make sure we're not saying like long distance relationships are terrible and like you should aim to be in a short distance relationship. But if there is someone who's listening who is dealing with a long distance relationship, how do we make the most of that? One thing I can think of is, before you leave each other's side, you should always have a plan for when you're seeing each other next. An end date in sight is always great. Like, okay, you have to go to Chicago for school for 2 years, so we're going to do long distance for 2 years, and then we'll be back together. But, like, when there's no end date, it's a little bit more difficult. But still, like, making sure that you have on the books when you're going to see each other next, I think is something really helpful to look forward to. They have, like, apps, too, that have a countdown of when you're seeing each other next.
That's a great thing. I mean, I think he's okay if I say this, but my brother is in South Korea and,
Right now?
Yeah. He's been there since October.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and so
Yeah.
he's flying home hopefully like June time. And, his my parents came and they visited him, and then his wife visited him. And that was like something he could look forward to. They were coming, and he was having a bit of like a struggle because, they left, and now he's in this time where he's just waiting and you know, I think what has been helpful and what we talk about frequently is when him and his wife can drive and visit us and like, oh my gosh, when you get back, yeah, you're going to come out and we're going to drive, you're going to adopt a puppy, we're going to do this, we're going to do that.
Aw.
And I can hear the excitement and like, I'm excited too, because I get to see him. And it's helpful, like you said, to just have an end goal in sight. Like you can see the next rainbow. You can see the next, you know,
And
light.
it's great because that talks about their future. So that gives both of them validation and confirmation. Like, we're sticking to this till the end.
Yeah, and hope as well. I also think something that's really important is doing regular check-ins with your partner and asking them how your day was. Like, tell me a walkthrough of your day. Like, in times where my boyfriend and I have been apart for long distance, like long times. Let's say we're traveling and like 2 weeks where we're not seeing each other, still maintaining, like keeping them updated. Not that you need to be giving them a play-by-play every day, but like I like the good morning text and I like the good night text and just doing
I was
a
hoping
little.
someone. I was like,
do a
we're
little
definitely going to
check-in.
bring
Much
that
needed.
up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Much needed.
I agree. I mean, I think anytime I'm separated from Mr. Right, he now knows, and hopefully he really hones into that. But like, how important a good night phone call is for me, or if he's unable to talk, like he's busy or he's going out, like, you know, when we're apart, at least having texts like that say like good night and making it
100%.
meaningful. Because my night, you know, I know other people sometimes they're in zones or their Wi-Fi or something is not able to connect with them. But before you leave, you're going to know where you're at. You should be able to say like, okay, I'll be able to talk to you at these times or at these days and stick to them, because it kind of goes with that same thread of knowing your next call, knowing when you're going to hear from them. Even if throughout the day you're like, I know I'm not going to hear from them, but tonight I get to hear from them.
Yeah.
That makes you feel so good and so special to have that moment to be like, check in and say like, how are you doing? Oh, like, it's really nice to hear from you. Tomorrow, could you just check in with me and say like, good morning? Because today was a little hard. And you having those moments to say like, this is what I need. It's hard for both of us, but like, if you can try to do this, that's going to make me feel hopefully more, you know, at peace when I'm away from you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now you
So-
can schedule text messages too. So if you really
What?
feel,
Can you?
you guys didn't know you could schedule text messages.
No?
What?
Wait, what?
When you go to, you write a text message
That's
and
kind
then
of a cheat.
where the sticker thing is, you say send later and it'll send at any time in the future.
What?
I don't know this.
Guys, I've been asking for scheduled text messages for the longest time. Like, I've been praying that's something that's going to be really useful. Now you can do that. As of like, it's been
Okay,
for a
I'm
minute.
glad my boyfriend doesn't listen to this, because you do not get a cheat.
Yeah, you
You're
don't
not
get
gonna
out of my
Listen,
sight.
I do.
I'm saying like if you know you're falling asleep early and your partner
No,
doesn't
I know
go to sleep
it's
later.
definitely helpful.
Or if you're gonna sleep in and you want them to wake up to a sweet message, I think there are
Yeah.
ways that you can
I like
use
the
it
good morning thing,
in a-
because
in a cute
we're
way.
often on different morning schedules, and that would be something
That'd
very
be cute if it
useful.
was like, hey, I know you're still sleeping.
I am too.
I am too, but oh no. Hey, I know you just woke up. I'm still sleeping, but I wanted to send this over to you
My
so that you saw it in the morning.
Yeah,
That's so
no,
cute.
I think it's really cute.
I also was gonna say that doing like weekly video call dates or FaceTime dates can be really fun. There are a lot of like
Incorporating the FaceTimes
this is
and
this
video.
is not a long distance relationship, but during COVID with my cousins and my sister who lived back in New York while I lived in LA, there are multiple, but there was this one plugin that we used that you can do. It's a plugin on Chrome, so you can watch any streaming service together and also have a chat bubble on the side. So you're all watching a show or a movie synced up at the same time, and you're chatting about it at the same time, and you each have a little video screen as well, so your reactions are there. And it was such a fun
That's
way to
cool.
like all gather and watch Vampire Diaries together.
We should
and
try that,
spend
because
time.
I love that.
when
We're all in a long distance
Yeah.
relationship with each other.
We
now.
are.
I know it really does feel like that. We did not use that technology, but last time we were apart, Mr. Wright and I, we queued up our FaceTimes to look at each other, and then on our TVs, we separately timed it for ourselves, and we're like, and we watched
so cute.
Jersey Shore episode, and we're like, okay, 3, 2, 1, play.
That's so cute. It's like you're watching the
And
movie
we watched
together, the
it,
show
and then-
together.
but I tend to talk more, especially I think when I'm away. So I'll be like, oh my God, did you see that? And he'd have to like unmute and be like, what?
Yeah.
And I'm like, he's like, now I'm paused. And I'm like, Oh, okay.
And now you're out of sync. We do that with workout
That's
videos, my
funny.
cousins and I. And like we'll get different ads at different times, or like the ads are different lengths. So that's why those plugins are really good.
that is really nice.
But apart from that, I think another way to stay connected is doing like I love the Spotify mixes where it'll make a playlist. Like,
I was thinking about that.
yeah, you and Mr. Tennis, and it'll update. Well, it's supposed to update daily with different songs that are pulled from both of your playlists. And also digital journals like the app that I mentioned in the last episode, or I think it was the last
a
episode.
few back, yeah.
Yeah, called Paired. Like there are other apps like that where you can even add a widget on your phone and your
That
partner
would be
can update selfies.
really helpful with like long distance.
Yeah.
Is an app like that to
I love
really
that.
get that question out there, and especially with a photo.
Yeah.
Too, like, which is something you can send outside of an app just through your phone, is just like a photo. I love sending like a kissy face photo, or just a heart photo, or something that's like, this is for you, waking up, thinking of you, kind of thing. And
Yeah.
and just like knowing that photo is meant for them, and
In that
like,
moment,
I'm
you're
thinking of
thinking
you
about
in this
them.
moment. Yeah, we don't have to FaceTime in this moment. We don't even have to like respond back. But right now, when you look at this, like, this is for you. And
Yeah.
I like, it's so easy to do, and it's not that it makes it easier to be long distance, but it helps reaffirm your feelings in this relationship, and that like we're both still on the same track. We're still working, and we're trying to like
Yeah.
be here.
Jumping off exactly
Yeah.
what you're literally talking
Run with
about
it.
in regards to photos and videos.
Oh,
Snapchat. I literally love Snapchat. It's like,
Oh my
How
gosh,
did I
she is
not
a walking ad.
I didn't see it
Snapchat
coming, and you do it every
day.
time. How did I not
I
see it?
Snapchat every day, all the time, and like I love sharing these moments because it's like, oh, I'm having, this situation is going on, and it's so fun and it's so exciting. I want to share it with my partner.
Yeah.
He's not physically with me, but when he has time to sit down and look through his phone, it's like he was with me throughout the whole entire day.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you haven't yet, Snapchat would love to partner with you.
So obviously, Snapchat was initially intended for something else. So while we're talking about Snapchat, let's turn the heat up in here a little bit. Is that
I
okay
was
with you
wondering
girls?
when you say that.
Is that okay with you girls?
It's okay with me.
How do we keep things spicy in a long distance
Rachel?
relationship?
Rachel, how do we?
Well, definitely, I teaser photos. I'm trying to
You know
think-
what?
I like teaser photos.
I
They
love
don't have to
teaser
be
photos.
R-rated, but I like
Yeah.
maybe suggest if you feel
Kind of
comfortable
go,
with
but
it.
like going off what I like to do now is I do that invisible ink thing.
Yeah.
And I love that. I love
Yes.
Did
doing
I
that.
tell you about that, or did you hear about that on?
Mr. Wright told me about it
Oh, 'cause
initially.
I've done
and then
that.
I was obsessed with, I'm like,
I think you've told me about it,
Oh,
and
okay,
then I
okay.
used
yeah,
it.
and now
Yeah.
I use
Yes.
it where I'm like, every time you see this,
Yeah.
something's about to
It's
be
also
revealed.
a good warning if they're at work or
Exactly.
something.
I love that because I like to do that too. I'm like, this might not be an appropriate time for you.
Yeah.
Let's send it right now.
Yeah, right?
And knowing that invisible ink, I'm like, okay, good. Like,
It makes it a fun little
Yep.
scratch to get.
I'm like,
you know?
yeah, I know.
It's like, ooh.
What
they
part
like,
are you gonna reveal for?
Yeah, right? It's like, boom, you do, oh.
Whoa.
She's getting really into it.
She is. She's
am.
going boom boom.
This is, you guys, y'all know this is my favorite topic.
Oh, I know. That's why I was like, so let's go in on Rachel. But like, I think little teaser photos, teaser words too.
Yeah,
And
you are a wizard with the words.
She
I-
is.
I've been retired for
You
so
have been.
long. When Cosette met me, I was in my prime of giving it to the audience through words, and
Oh my gosh.
I've been tamed, but
No,
it doesn't
you
mean I
can't
will
be
be
tamed.
silenced.
Yeah,
I
you
can't.
will not
I
be
can't,
I
I will
will not
not.
be silenced.
I know. I have a shy boy on my hands, but it does not stop me from making him uncomfortable sometimes and sending those like salacious messages that are just like, hey, you can tell where my head's at right now. And, later maybe I'm going to obviously say more. Or even later when I'm by myself. Like, you need those little moments with each other to be for the imagination.
Yeah,
Love it.
I like starting it like. This is something maybe I should do more of, but like starting the seeding of the flirty messages
Yeah.
in the beginning of the day and kind of like letting it build throughout the day. But this doesn't really apply to long distance necessarily because then you usually will see them at the end of the day.
But, a
you-
FaceTime.
yeah, I was going to say, you could do that.
An upcoming FaceTime might make it a little more easy to lean into instead of just, it
Yeah,
could just
I don't
be
have
like,
a lot of experience with the FaceTime.
who does here?
Who in this room might have some experience?
I
with
have no idea, but literally,
But if you were to know someone, what would one person do on a FaceTime?
Yeah.
Rachel?
Maybe wear a very, provocative outfit on a FaceTime.
Like on purpose, or was it like an accidental kind of look? Like a white tee with no bra, kind of like,
Well-
oh, what?
Well,
I'm just
a good
going to bed.
example, not that I would know, but a good example would maybe be, to take the FaceTime and have it just be like up, just like your stomach up, and just chat, and then maybe like, oh, hold on, I need to grab something, and you turn around and grab something, but you're walking in your underwear, and
That's so funny. I love that.
then they'd be like, whoa.
That's a little like Easter egg, like little
Yeah.
sneak peek, a way of like making it a little bit. Oh wait, oh my God, I forgot to put pants on. I'm so sorry.
So sorry.
Oh my God. You know what this is making me think of? You'd have to be very, very thoughtful in this and making sure, like, if the last time you saw them, you had to hide something. But I'm thinking of a John Tucker Must Die moment where, have you either of you seen that movie?
I have, but remind
Okay.
me.
So they're both in separate hotel rooms and they're FaceTiming, and she is like, hey, there's a gift for you under the bed. And he gets it and he opens it up and it's a thong. And he's like a sneak preview of tonight. And ultimately it's a funny scene. And she's like, no, I want you to wear them.
Oh.
But like, I'm thinking, if it didn't go there, or it did, I don't know.
Yeah.
You can do it into a role play. But like hiding something and saying like, hey, I left you a gift.
I think that's a
And
great
like,
idea.
something again, like, I think that is something that would be really fun to do.
I love that.
And kind of, yeah.
Let's say, literally exactly what you said.
Yeah.
The partner, let's say you guys do meet up, and in that moment, you, like you said, hide a gift in their room, and then
That's so cute.
they
I
go
love
even
it.
doesn't
away,
have- yeah.
and then they say, hey, there's actually a gift. It's in the closet.
Yeah.
Go look at it, open it up.
That would be so much fun. And
That's a great
I haven't
idea.
even done that. I'm just thinking, I was like, oh, a little John Tucker moment. Like,
Great idea.
a little steamy, or it doesn't
gonna
have to be.
steal
It could be-
that.
I know.
I'm
I
gonna
know. You're
steal
like,
that.
hey, when's the next time you're leaving? Okay, perfect.
Okay. I'll make note of that.
Yeah, make note of the day before.
Yeah, I guess I'm like going. I don't want to go away from the spiciness, but I'm thinking of like the lead up into it. If you're long distance, I think it's always sweet to like order your partner dinner and be like, oh, we're both having Chinese tonight. It's gonna be at your place
Yeah.
in 20 minutes, and you can have a little like dinner date over FaceTime.
I love
Maybe
that.
it leads into maybe dessert is on the menu on
Oh.
FaceTime, but.
Oh.
I don't know. Everyone has different comfort levels too. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
you'll
someone
know
who's
your
very
own and-
cautious with like I get uncomfortable with like having I guess a digital footprint
Yeah.
out there.
I don't think I'm as cautious as maybe I should be.
Yeah,
I'm definitely not as cautious as
Everyone
I
has
probably should
different.
be.
Oh,
was like,
someone's gonna have
yeah,
to draw.
I know, I was
Don't
like,
say that.
uh-oh.
But that's why I think there's a lot of beauty in just like teasing and being suggestive, but not necessarily.
Rachel's making suggestive eyes at me.
I'm just very expressive.
I
You-
know.
You guys
no,
know that.
No, I know.
She is.
That's why I love you.
I love it. It's
But
fun.
yeah, I love the whole surprise mystery gift hidden.
Yeah.
And something else is just like hiding little handwritten letters if you're long distance. Like
That's-
I'm
love
thinking in my
it.
sister's case, like when she goes to visit him in Arizona, she could hide little notes around and then
That would be
and
really
have it be a
cute.
little scavenger
Oh
hunt
my
while she's not
gosh.
there.
She
Yeah.
needs to do that.
Yeah.
She needs
Yeah.
to do that.
You know, like also something that definitely takes more time and might be helpful if you're apart from each other for a long while is having purposeful notes like open when you
Yes.
go to
Yes.
work on Monday or
I love
open
that.
when.
I did that to my sister
Oh.
when
Yeah.
when I was
Yep.
leaving. She was going into high school and I was going into college. And so she was basically losing her last older sister that lived
Yeah.
there. And I did open one letters for her. And she said she cried so much and it was so special because she felt like I was there, like still leading her through high school. And then she did it for her boyfriend, like I think last year she did all these, or maybe when they decided when they had to go long distance, she did all these open one cards, and some of them had like a gift card in it.
Right.
I've made like vouchers for my sister where I'm like, oh, like this is a voucher for I'll give you a 10-minute massage or I'll do your nails for
Yeah.
you. And so
Aw.
those are also to go to the budget thing. Like those are
Yeah.
sweet little ways of being like,
Right,
staying
and help that
connected.
long distance, and like that's something you can do, open every Friday or open, you know, like there's so many different things you can do with that will help that time pass before the next time you guys get to see each other.
Yeah.
And I
Love
always
that.
think about my parents because, my mom, I don't think I talked to her enough about this time or how she did it, but my dad went to Iraq was at training and then went to Iraq for a year and a half, and she had
Wow.
3 kids. I was
Wow.
the oldest in 3rd grade, and
Yeah,
I
that's
just
crazy.
don't know how and that's also a zone where like Wi-Fi and connection and
Yeah.
communication is so much more limited, and you're not really sure when's the next time you get to talk to them. And
Do you know how often they were able to talk with each other?
no, I remember I was telling her the other day, I'm like, I remember, because I was like, Mom, you were there for us a lot, and like, it just wanted to tell you that. And I remember when, we'd have Dad on the computer and we'd talk late at night because the time zone changed, and she's like, you do remember that? So I only remember a few times.
Yeah.
But I it's something that I really want to revisit with her because, they've been married now, I don't even know, 35 years.
Their
and,
goals.
And like, that's a really hard time. You have
Yeah.
young kids. You have a new home. You have a husband that's across the world.
That's
and
stressful for
Like,
both parties.
on so many different levels. And
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, how did they do it? Because I get anxiety when I'm a week away
Yeah.
and we're just 2 hours apart.
Yeah.
And, I need a goodbye message or a good night
Yes.
message. And I'm like, my mom probably didn't have that. And
No.
and like thinking about there are challenges, and as we said at the beginning of this, it's not that it's not impossible. It's no one wants that situation,
Yeah.
but if you both are in it and you both are willing to put that work and communication and love into it,
Then it
work,
will
and you'll
work.
get through it.
Yeah,
Like,
and in this day and age, we have so many we have so much
Right.
technology. We have so many tools that we can use to make ourselves feel more
Yeah.
connected, which they probably didn't really have at
Right.
that time as much.
So-
Yeah.
So
I think
take advantage of that. Yeah, distance
Yeah.
doesn't mean disconnection. Like with intention, with playfulness, with all these like just thoughtful ways that you can stay connected, you can make the heart grow fonder and not
Fonder.
wander.
and not
Fonder.
wonder.
Wow, I'm good.
And not
Look at
wander.
you.
So that is our episode on long distance relationships and how to make them work, and just some fun little.
You don't got to go to
stories.
work, but you got to go to work.
Okay. Yeah, I love
Make it
that.
work.
I'm gonna think on that one. Thank you guys so much for listening. Signing off, it's Cosette.
Lexi.
And Rachel.
Bye.